Hi everyone. We are going to do a simple gesture drawing today. And to do this, I'm going to have you set up a simple still life. I have an olive oil bottle, peanut butter or almond butter, a peach, and a box of popcorn. We're going to try and do all of our still lives with items that we can find in our house so that you can set something simple up like this. But more importantly, I have a cube, a cylinder, a sphere, another cube, kind of like a pyramid shape, and a cylinder. So for the gesture, the idea is just to get the overall impression. We're not trying to get details. We're trying to take a quick inventory of what we see, and then we'll measure, we'll map, we'll make sure we have all the proportions correct later. What I recommend is that you might want to put an extra sheet of your mixed media board underneath and behind your still life so that you're not being distracted by the other information around. I'm going to also move my peach so that from my perspective, I'll show you a picture of this in a minute, it's overlapped in front of the cylinder. So I have stacking, which helps us understand depth. Okay, so to start, I'm gonna try and get the biggest form I can find, and I'm not even gonna do any kind of detail. So here's the demo. Kind of map. I'm using the vine charcoal on the side, very loosely, very lightly, where I think things sit. I'm not taking measurements officially yet, but I'm kind of trying to understand, like, okay, if this is the center of the olive oil bottle, then here is the peanut butter, almond butter. I'm intentionally not really using any lines, and I did not start with my peanut butter box or my popcorn box, because that's challenging. I noticed if I have the peach here that the side of the box, the vertical, is underneath it. So I will drop in that little vertical. I'm going to find this back vertical. I see this vertical and how it relates to the peach, and the olive oil bottle in it is off my picture plane. And very quickly I see where it comes out of the back of my olive oil bottle, and that is just the loose beginning of a gesture. What I can do with the gesture then, because it's so light and an easy beginning, I can then double check and start to measure, which we're going to get into in the next lesson more thoroughly, but I'm going to kind of introduce it here. So I'm going to plot some points. I'm going to see if on my almond butter jar, if that's about where the back of my box sits, where the bottom of my peach, where this intersects on my peach, where this top of the peach is on the olive oil. My olive oil needs to be a little bigger. Where it sits, actually doesn't need to be bigger, it just needs to be moved over. Kind of shifting some things. So once I have a kind of loose understanding of where things sit, then I can go in and just kind of quickly, again, no real detail, just restating the sets of information. And allowing it to be fluid and move a little. What's nice about the charcoal is I can quickly wipe it away with either my hand or I could use my chamois. These are allowed to be messy. Almost in some ways, the messier they are, the better, because you're not being stuck on one particular line that most likely isn't correct yet. And they don't need to take very long. So I've restated the still life. This is the beginning of how we draw. In a little while, we're going to practice sighting and measuring, where we take a pencil and I measure something. So I'll review this more thoroughly later, but I'm going to use the almond butter jar for my measurement. And I find out if I put the top of the pencil here and my thumb here, with my arm straight so that I don't change perspective or scale, then I'll compare it. So now I've moved my thumb to here and I see where the top of the pencil goes from that almond butter measurement. So that tells me that this should be almost the same as this. Let me check again. Yes. So this size from here to here should be the same as the olive oil bottle, and it's perfect. That matches that. And that's what the gesture is for, is you can loosely lay it down and then you can measure along the way. So we'll take another measurement. I'm going to keep using this as my constant. And it looks like the olive oil bottle should be a little more than 2/3 of the width. So I'm going to take, oops, this way. This is my constant. And look at that. 2/3 of the width. So I'm good. It's looking nice. And then you can kind of keep moving around, but we'll get to that lesson next. So if you could, in the next project assignment, set up a simple still life and do a little gesture. I'm going to do another one in another video. Okay. See you soon.